Hello everybody, this is Einar from Unity Center. Today we have a guest from, you're really from Netherlands now, but you come from Mexico.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and he's going to have some courses at Unity now in sacred shamanism and life energy force. And he's working a lot with Tantra and things like that. In Norway, Tantra is, I think it's a bad word or something, but we're trying to change that now. First of all, a little bit background. You're from Mexico, and your parents were shamans.
Yeah, well, my father was a spirita. That means that he's a person that connects with the supraconscious, and then he started to resolve things to the people. Then in Mexico, we have even though we are a Catholic majority, we have very aspects connected to the supraconscious, to the supranatura, and the esoterics. Then my father, since he was a kid, he read the people. He sees you at the
He was clairvoyant.
Clairvoyance. Mm-hmm. But the specialization on him is that he tells you what is wrong with your life, and he tells you how to fix it up, specific problems. And he passed away last year in April. Mm-hmm. And then from there, well, that's what he was doing for life. Also, he studied psychoanalysis, and he combined both aspects of life. But he even advised even present from Mexico. Then in that aspect, in my father, within my mother aspect, my grandmother was from a Yaqui tribe. Mm-hmm. A Yaqui tribe is a nomad tribe from North America, and they have aspects of the shamanic world. They have a medicine man, and they have a leader of the men. Basically, they have an aspect of the kula, like in India. One person is the leader, the elder one, who has a vision to connect, either to heal the people or either to advise the people, and he decides how to go with the whole community. And my grandmother was daughter of a shaman.
How was it to grow up in this kind of environment?
Well, at the beginning you hate it, because you don't understand what is happening. You don't understand, we are in a modern world, and you are seeing your father lighting candles, giving fragrances, and you see these stupid people, how they can believe that. How people can go to this. And then you came to grow up and saying, this is not true. This is completely bizarre. It's part of the reality, and then you accept it, but you don't accept it. It's there, Mm-hmm. And as a teenager, that when you are a teenager, you renegade of all these things. And then, of course, for my first 20 years, I believe that I was not into esoterics.
What did you do then? Did you go normal schools?
Yes, I went to the university. I studied international relations. I went to a normal, like a normal teenager. But at the same time, I had, for example, an aunt. An aunt, a relative, okay. A woman.
Aunt, yeah.
Yeah, that she was involved with the Rosicrucians. And then she started to talk about astral trips. He started to talk about Jesus, about other things that I never heard before. Then I think that one was of the triggers to start to get connected to the esoterical world. And one of the first steps to connect with the esoterics was the tarot cards. Then suddenly I bought myself a tarot card, and then I started to read. And in the university, they told me that I was a magician.
Okay.
Then, of course, I was very popular in the university doing readings. But that was a hobby, something that you were triggered to know what was the future of yourself and to help people. But in that part of my body, it was like, okay, it's a hobby. It's not something that I wanted to dedicate.
Yeah, and then what changed your work then from going from international relations into shamanism? What kind of courses did you start going on?
It was really funny because the part of the university I studied in the University of the Americas, and we have most of the times American teachers. And one of my own teachers, and he was the director of my thesis, he was involved in the Masonry.
What's that?
A Masonics is a group of people that is an hermetic society that dedicates to study, do deep studies about the esoterical world, but in a scientific way, but also a humanistic way. And it's like a fraternity, like the Rosicrucians. With this teacher, he gave us two subjects that I loved, that it was symbolism and ritualism in the United States. And you were going to be asking me, you studied international relations, and this subject is symbolism and ritualism. And what we don't think in the modern society is how symbolism can penetrate energetically and give you an idea on how to behave like a citizen in one country. For example, you have your flag of Norway with certain colors, and those certain colors affect you all your life. And there are certain patterns that affects the way you behave politically and how you behave with the same society. And that's what I learned, and I love it. I love how was the ritualism in the United States, to swear the Bible, why they swear in the Bible. And then we have an area to combine the United States and Mexico. And then I found that Mexico, we are full about symbolism, about ritualism, and it was involved very, very deep into the society. And that was one of the triggers that keep me going until I finished my career, and then I get connected to, I was teaching in the university. I was a teacher in the same aspects of international relations, and I get to know somebody in the Masonry world, and he invited me. And in this lodge, the lodges are the places where we gather to generate knowledge, to get to know each other. I become to be a specialist in ritualism.
There's a telephone going around there.
No, I'm not.
It's a neighbor, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
continue.
and then I become a specialist in rites. Then it was really, really interesting to see that almost all the rites that we know in modern world, they come from a single source, that is the Dravidian culture and the Sumerians. And this was really interesting because it gives me the knowledge. We were talking before about sacred geometry, and it get involved into one rite specific to generate energy within a place. Then it was really amazing, all this knowledge that came out, and discovered that the root was with the Dravidians. And the Dravidians were the first community to give a method to the shamanic practice of the community, and this method was called Tantra.
Okay.
And then I said, well, that was the first in touch within the Tantra world. Then, but still I was practicing law, I had my own business, and then I did that as a hobby, not really doing it to make a living, not really doing it was just for the knowledge and the experience of the energetical way out of the rites.
Yes, so it's then you come into shamanism, but Tantra and shamanism, how do they connect?
Yeah, that's
When you talk about shamans, very seldom they talk about Tantra.
Yeah, one aspect of that we have forgotten is how we are animals, human beings. Yes. We are animals, that we connect to the nature in different ways because we wanted to be related and to know ourselves, but also we wanted to grow as a human being. One aspect to grow as a human being is to go to the roots of the human being. How you are going to be moving the knowledge of one human being in order to know who you are. And it's a philosophical aspect of life and all the cultures. How you can say, who am I? Why I'm down here? What I came to do down here? And these three philosophical questions make that the human being started to look for something beyond the needs that we have in normal life. Then this need make, with the experience of people that are already elder, to give counseling to the other ones and be philosophical about these things. And these elders starting to create a way to embrace the knowledge in a higher frequency. That's the shaman. Shaman comes from a Tulsic community, and the Tulsi community is in North Asia. And those ones, the first one that they approximate to answer these philosophical words. You have ASEAN, and then you have in the north part of India, the Sumerians. You know, in these worlds, in these modern worlds, we communicate by internet, and we started to do it faster. In those times, people migrate each other. People move from one place to another one, and that was the way to get to know each other. Now, Tantra and Shamanism are related because there's a method in order to answer to specific philosophical questions. And both elderlies in a community, in the Dravidians and maybe in the Tulsic area, they were answering to the community how to heal themselves, how to advise to the other ones when to collect food, how to collect the food, and they hold the knowledge. Shamanism, shaman, comes from a root of Sanskrit that means the man who connects with. And that's the shaman that connects with something else to give you knowledge. And in Tantra, the Tantrika, the elder that had the knowledge, Tantra means to expand and liberate. And to expand and liberate, you need to connect with the supraconscious.
Is it expand and liberate? Is that okay?
The Tantra comes from two words that is called Tanoti and Tayotri. Tanoti means to expand, Tayotri means to liberate. Both words means that you are weaving something. And shamanism is a way to connect to the supraconscious when you have the knowledge and when you are in a rite of passage. And Tantra, you don't need that rite of passage to connect. Sometimes you connect it through the experience. Tantra, what it gives is the experience to you in order that you can connect to supraconscious, in order that you can grow as a human being. Now, from shamanism, you have the word of mouth in order to pass all the rites, all the rituals, all the knowledge of the medicine, all the knowledge of the healing, all the knowledge of how to connect and the methods to connect to the natura, to connect with the divine, with the spirit. And it's all the time word of mouth. In Tantra, the difference, but also the way that it connects to shamanism, is that there is methods. Tantra is a method that allows you to connect to supraconscious in order that you connect with the divine and connect with your inner wisdom. Down here in shamanism connects that way to the Tantra, because you are connected to the supraconscious, to the supranatura. Now, both aspects, they believe in the rites, in the rituals. But Tantra gives a little bit more of diversification because it has different kinds of tools. Normally in Neo-Tantric world, in our times, we only believe that Tantra refers to sacred sexuality. It goes far beyond. Right now, if you go to the Center of Studies of Tantra from the University of Hamburg, the 5 years ago they have a classification of how many methodologies and beliefs schools in Tantra were in the world. And it is contabilized that it's more than 3,600 different kinds of Tantra. And in West, when it comes Tantra, we believe that we got only the Neo-Tantric approach. You have Shivaism, you have Kashmir, you have Mishra, you have Kaula, you have ancient Kaula, and you have Mudra Chuli Tantra. You have a different perspective, different kinds of tradition of Tantra.
But all of them end up in the same higher experience?
All the time, and what it looks the Tantra, whatever the methods are around, they look that you expand yourself and you liberate yourself in order to reach Samadhi.
Liberate from what?
Let's say, for example, when you have, let's put it in simple terms, in modern terms, you know. For example, I have jealousy with my partner.
Jealousy.
Jealousy. Just to be jealous about that she goes or he goes somewhere, and we are connected to that emotion and to that pattern that every time that she goes away or he goes away, this feeling comes. And what it does, Tantra, maybe out of breathwork, meditation, ritualism, yoga, or sacred sexuality, it goes to that thing, that blockage, that thing that allows you to go to that emotion. And what does it do, Tantra? To an experience, you find out what was the origin of this situation. Maybe because when I was a kid, my father left me, or my mother left me when I was going to the school, and she forgot to pick me up. And now I'm binding to the emotion that my partner will leave me. Or maybe my father was liked more my sister, and he forgot about me all the time. And that he created me jealousy all the time. And now I wanted to control my partner all the time, and I believe that he's going to do the same thing that my parent went away. Now, in modern times we have psychology, psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, but what Tantra is so nice is that I will never forget one word that somebody told me in Tantric Buddhism. Somebody told me the fastest way to get out of the bad things in your life is Tantra, but it's also the most painful. And you realize what is wrong, what is happening, and all the bad patterns. And you can smell what is wrong with you immediately and recognize it, because it gives you consciousness about what is the real problem. And that's why when you were asking, what do you liberate a lot of things. You liberate blockages, you liberate emotions, sensations that are trapped in your body, but also that are trapped in your mind.
And you unlock all kinds of traumas, not only sexual traumas.
Not only sexual traumas, it can be energetical, it can be habits. It doesn't relate only to sex. We relate it to the sex because it's the first problem that we have, because it's in the needs, in the Muladhara, it's in the lower chakras. And one aspect to work faster with the density that we have in our mind and in our bodies is to go to the sexuality issues. Now you should remember that what I told you, if you go to Tantric Buddhism, Shivaite, or any kind of methods, there's 5 tools that they repeat in each other. That is breathing, ritualism, meditation, yoga or body work, and then sacred sexuality. Now, these tools, it will depend the method of Tantric method, if they can go working from the heart on or from the heart down, then you have two aspects of Tantra. One that they say that is called from the right hand, that it works from heart to the upper chakras, and you liberate from down there up there. Then you have the left hand that is going to go there, the lower chakras, and go all the way down to the seven. Now the major problems that we have with all these things of sexuality, liberating and expanding, is that most of the times if you work with from the heart on, then you need to work down here. You should remember that as a human being, you are developing, since we come to this world, if you go directly to the chakra system, every chakra evolutionate the way you are growing. That's why when you are, for example, 45, when you are completed all the needs down there, then you started to go to the spiritual thing. What I'm going to be doing with my life, I'm okay with this, all these questions. But then when you realize this, you realize that you have still problems that came out of the youth. And that's why when you do this kind of work with Tantra, then allows you to liberate all those things. Okay?
And this is much faster than going to a psychiatrist.
Yes, sometimes you just need a push in order to realize that you were having an issue. But the most interesting part of Tantra is that when you live the experience, it's not, I'm going to be inducing you the experience by these methods, either Tantric Buddhism, meditation, breath work, but at the end, the one that is going to be realizing what is your problem, if you have a problem, is yourself, because it will come out. Sometimes we have the opportunity to see it, but sometimes the subconscious will liberate something that is there. And for example, you are receiving a conscious touch, a massage, tantric massage, that doesn't have to be including genital. I just clarify. Yeah. You can go to the genitals and it's going to be faster. And I'm going to explain it why it's faster. But you can do a conscious touch massage with not touching genitalia, and then suddenly, or being happy, release, and then it comes, for example, that you get angry, very angry. And then you step out of the session, of the massage session, and you say, I wanted to leave. You don't recognize what is the source of the thing, but it comes an emotion. And it's very beautiful, because when you talk about Tantra, and you talk with somebody that practice other kind of holism technique, you will see that both of them, they work in the same root. And if somebody release angerness and he doesn't relate to the angerness, why he got anger, is because the subconscious has released an emotion that was trapped there. And then suddenly, after that, he goes out and he feels like something had left him. So I'm more lighted, and I say, I don't know what happened, but I feel okay, I feel better.
But you don't have to go into the real course why you have this.
Yes.
Just like a psychologist, you have to go down, and at last you find the main reason for your trauma. You don't have to do that.
You don't need to. No. Sometimes. You don't need to. Sometimes just to clarify and feel the emotion and then just, okay, acknowledge the emotion. Okay, I feel very sad, I don't know why, but I was sad all the time during the massage or during the session, the breath work. I cannot relate it to nothing. Or sometimes you can recollect some emotions or some memories that are over there. You should remember that maybe sometimes we block memories, or we block the issue that is driving us the way we are conducting our lives right now.
So this your Tantra is unblocking the traumas, so you get up the feelings, and you really have to know why the feelings are blocked, or?
No, you don't need to do it. Now, You as a tantrika, you as a professional on tantra, once you deliver an experience in order to liberate something, you need to take care of the person afterwards. You need to be in communication with the person in order, because sometimes it comes out. Sometimes. I have had a patient, for example, that she blocked for a long time. She can have an intimate relationship normally with her husband, and she didn't know why. She had pleasure, but when she wanted to reach the pleasure, the maximum pleasure, he stopped, she pushed him away, and he said, no, I need to do it myself. You cannot come in. And after 2 sessions of Tantra, she got into a deep trance, and then she figured out that she was being abused when she was a kid. She didn't know. And it came the whole memory out. And then afterwards, she shifted all her sexual life the way a normal way to do it.
So you're triggering lots of the feelings. You're triggering the feelings to get up the feelings, and then you can deal with the feelings.
Yeah, you trigger an experience. The experience can be delivering or making a process. Then now the process, it can stay within the session, or the process can go out of the session when you are after 5 days. Normally, that's why, for example, in Tantra, we call sometimes about therapy. In some countries it's recognized Tantra as a therapy, in some other countries it's not recognized. And it depends the ethics, but you were saying at the beginning, Tantra has a bad reputation, because until now we have had the problems that there have not been ethics around. There's not something that is normalized. You cannot normalize a practice that is very millenarian, that is very ancient. But also you cannot regulate a practice that has 3006 different kinds of methods. Then you can be laughing about, but the most important thing within Tantra and with all these things is that you can deliver a process to one person that is looking for growing herself or growing himself. Just to be who he is, to give them power, to embrace who they are. Do not depend on nobody, to be more within themselves. And
then we come into the Uma is also here listening to you were talking about grounding. This is what you're talking about now. When you get to release all these traumas, you get more and more grounded, so you can easier work with your higher chakras.
Yes. One time I never thought that how deep Tantra can go within one person. I was doing Tantra Kriya Yoga, that is a practice where you do yoga asanas, breath work. You move sexual energy with not touching genitalia. You do bandhas over there. Bandha is the constriction part of the body. Then in Tantra we have one that is called sacred lock. In yoga it's called Agnisara. You stimulate first, second and third chakra. And I have a client, a person that was very on silent all the time, by 4 months. We do the practice, we breathe, we do asanas, we communicate, we move energy. And then 3 months afterwards, this guy comes out of the nothing, this person, this client, and he told me, Anand, I wanted to thank you. I said, why you wanted to thank me? What happened? He said, for the first time I can stood out and say to my mother-in-law, that she cannot criticize me, that she cannot criticize involving my family. And I said in a very beautiful, hearted way, I'm very focused, with not thinking about what is going to think my wife, what is going to think my kids. No, just tell her. And the next day I talked to my boss that I wanted to have a higher salary and to be recognized the work that I was doing all these 10 years. And then he said, I started to cry afterwards, in the afternoon, after I talked with my mother-in-law and my boss, and say, And he told me, I was thinking, what was the different thing that I do in these times in order that I can change myself? And the only thing that I did differently is coming to your course, to the classes of Tantra Kriya Yoga. And it gives me the power to confront situations that I would never been confronting. And when you say to ground, is that because you are working and moving energy, and you are consolidating all the factors in life that you have when you grow up as a human being. You know, first chakra goes to the needs, second chakra goes to the expansion, your intimate self, and then how you relate with yourself. Third one goes to the wheel of power. You know, all these things that we have to work from when we are kids, you know, little kids, until you are 20. And that's the rootness of our personalities. And unfortunately in this society, by my parents, my mother, the society, how we are raised up, the belief system of our parents, then we are crooked, you know, because we rise up with fears, rise up with expectancy. My father, oh, you need to study, or you need to accomplish this, and then we are fighting in order to become stable. But once we are stable, we are not stable, because we grow up very weak or very differently. And Tantra, what it goes, even for example yoga, you know, yoga you won't think, okay, yoga is going to be root me. Yeah, of course, because you're working with your body, you're working with the chakra system, and you are liberating and expanding. Now the problem with, for example, with modern yoga is they are not conscious that you're working with the memory of your body, that you're working with the subtle part of your body, and then you are empowering yourself. That's why it's so popular right now, because it's a method that is fast, you know, and you can change and be yourself. But there's a lot in another way. But once you practice yoga, you can feel yourself. That is very grounding aspect to be with. Now, Tantra Kriya Yoga or Tantra Yoga goes faster and deeper, because you are aware that you are moving energy from lower chakras to upper chakras, and then you are liberating and expanding all the time, and you're conscious about it.
This is what you're going to have. You're going to have a small workshop today and a little bit longer workshop tomorrow.
Yes.
It's a Kriya Yoga. That was tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we are going to do a little bit of Tantra Kriya Yoga. We are going to be working with the energy. But also, what I like about Tantra Kriya Yoga, or about Tantra, the methods that we share, is that allows you to connect with your inner wisdom and with your inner power. But also at the same time, in just few minutes, you can have experience of life with somebody that you don't know, and connect with everybody in the room, and to be held at the space by everybody. And it's really amazing how in 2 hours, for example, of Tantra Kriya Yoga, you can say, okay, what happened over there? I was feeling spacey, but also I feel it grounded. I got to know somebody, I connect with somebody, I have something with somebody that I don't know, and we started to cry, or we started to laugh, or I have an erotical approach to her, and this is not my kind of woman, you know. But it's that experience that moves you out of the comfort zone in 2 hours, give you a life experience that can allow you to be a better human being. And that's what Tantra does in different aspects, from massage, from breath work, from meditation, being conscious, or simple to do a rite or ritual. You know?
This is totally different from what we hear about Tantra in Norway. Sounds like shamanism. Yeah, Tantra is a kind of, we talked about Tantra is also a kind of healing that you have explained.
If you want, I would like to tell you 2 aspects that mainly people do not know. When we relate it to sacred sexuality within Tantra, you have 2 aspects. And that's where the abuse comes sometimes of some teachers that share Tantra. You have the aspect of using sacred sexuality to heal one person. Sacred sexuality generates the energy of co-creation that is in lower chakras. And that's your potentiality as a human being to create something else, to relate something else, to create another human being. And that power of energy, you can use it to something else. And that's one aspect of Tantra. Use that co-creation energy to something else, either to heal you, either to connect with you, either to liberate or expand, or to do something else that doesn't have to be a sexual act. But it's there. You don't have to manipulate a genitalia to generate sexual energy. Sexual energy is everywhere. It's the co-creation energy. It's a big bang.
Yeah, they also say, isn't Freud also said that sexual energy was the most powerful energy in the world?
Yeah, and is the origin of the world. You as a human being, you are created by two energies that connect each other to become a human being. That's the universe. You are a micro-universe. And you are the metaphor of the universe over there. And if you believe in astrology, you know that the moon affects the human body, and in ancient times, Tantra, and in these times, we believe that you as a micro-universe, you are related to the macro-universe. And this life force energy that you have within is capable to create another universe that is the other human being. Now, the other aspect of sacred sexuality is the union that you have with your partner, where you are connected in a conscious way and you are moving this energy not only to connect sexually with the person, but connect with the heart, but also connect with the spirit. In Tantra,
is this something you have to think about, or how does that work?
You have to be conscious about it.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have to feel it. I can tell you that for example, right now in this moment, we can create an energetical orgasm with no touching, and this energy that we are co-creating is co-creation energy. I'm not attracted to you sexually. I'm not attracted, but we can generate this, and this is the nice aspect that you can generate with somebody. Now, if you have a partner, and if you are conscious about that, you are moving co-creation energy into the body of her or into the body of him, and you are becoming, instead of two universes, you're becoming one with the other person. Once you are conscious that you're becoming one with one person doing sacred sexuality, when you are thinking that the person in front of me is more than a person, that it represents the universe, it represents a God, that is a divine presence in this world, that I'm making sex to a god or a goddess, and then you are becoming conscious that you are unifying, then believe me that when you are conscious about it and you are doing sacred sexuality with your partner, your physical body starts to melt out. You felt it, that there's nothing down here, that there is nothing down, but the only thing that exists is the pleasure to be connected to the other one, but also connected to something else. And that's the other aspect of sacred sexuality, the unifying with the other one through the consciousness of doing and being fusion two universes, two God or two goddesses or two gods. And the other aspect is the healing, sacred sexuality using that energy, and that's Tantra. Now, I would like it to put it out and to underline it.
Well, just to clarify, sacred sexuality and Tantra, what's the difference? Is it the same, or is it
It's a tool.
Tantra is a tool.
No, Tantra, you have in general more or less different tools that connects with Tantra, and one of the tools that use Tantra in order to liberate and expand it is sacred sexuality. One of the tools. It's not everything. You can see, for example, you go to a Tantric Buddhist monastery, and you can see that one monk is in front of one yantra, one god or one goddess. And he will think that he's making love to this god or goddess over there meditating, not touching genitalia, just becoming one with the that God. And he's doing sacred sexuality. No?
Yes.
And it's a tool in order to grow yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. We had a special question here. How does tantric rituals influence modern society?
You know, the other time I did one course about shamanism and tantra rituals, and I do that in Lisbon, in Portugal. And then, you know, for example, we talk about, we did something on the beach. On the beach, we went just to use the water as an element of cleansing. A ritual is an act that you do with an intention to create a specific result. Normally, we don't think about all these things. You wake up every day, and then the first thing that you do, maybe you go pee, or maybe you go drink water, or maybe you do and you brush your teeth. I don't know what you do every day, but that's a ritual and has an effect in your everyday life. But if you don't do that ritual, it creates another experience of life. Now, for example, when you say, okay, if I hold this water, and we have the intention that when I put you the first drop of water, I would like that you feel it. My intention is that you feel just the water. And then I'm dropping water, and it's created a whole experience out of it. And it's a ritual. When you take shower, if you go to all times, to take a shower, it was not just to take and cleanse up yourself. It was really to remove energy that your body didn't need, or bad spirits that were connected to your physical body, or the bad luck that the neighbor put on you. And you went to the river and you took a shower. Now in modern times, you know, that's, and one aspect that I like about Tantra is not only that is by the clouds or something that is ukupukus, you know, that is like magic. But when you talk at Tantra, you also can talk about quantum physics. Let's say, for example, when I told you about when I went to Portugal to do the water. We took some buckets from the sea with seawater, and seawater has a capability to decelerate the movements of the particles in the body, because it's more dense, the salt water, than your body, the movement of the particles. Then you do, and then I say we are going to do a ritual in which we are going to put salt water in your body in order to cleanse up your body. But some people were laughing, some people were crying, some people were afraid, and some people didn't have different kinds of experiences, but just was the water. Now imagine that you are taking a shower, and you say, okay, I'm going to take shower just to alleviate and calm myself, and I'm going to make out of this a whole ritual. I'm going to step out, I'm going to embrace, let the water come in, let the water walk in my body, and make an intention out of it. That's Tantra in modern times. This is my plate of food I'm going to be eating. I want to be honoring what I'm going to be eating. I'm going to be cleaning up the energy of this food. I don't know where it's coming from. I just want to put the intention that it comes into my body and it's going to be making with more energy. That's a ritual. Or I'm going to salute you and I'm going to say hello, and that's a ritual to honor that.
Yes, and that's if everybody does it, some people do it, it will influence modern society, the whole world we're in now.
I will tell you, I have a client that is an executive from, I won't say the company, and I have it regularly.
You have?
I have a client.
Yeah.
And they say, well, what I wanted is that you use your life force energy when you are selling this, when you are having a meeting. And the first thing that you are going to be coming is that you are going to make yourself presence in the room where you are going to have the gathering. And you are going to control the energy that is moving through your voice. Now imagine an executive that is with high top people trying to sell something for the first time. I can tell you how to use a ritual in order to make a presence down there and to make it yourself be confident about yourself. And that's empowerment through Tantra. Breath work, presence, seeing, using your own energy through the voice, and then, believe it or not, something changed in the way that people perceive you, because everything is about energies, frequencies. And if you put your frequency in with one intention, the people are more receptive to you, and the people are convinced. And it can use being in a modern world. You know NLP, no? Neuro-linguistic programmation.
No.
NLP, neuro-linguistic programmation, is a method that was invented in the United States in order that I empathize with you, in order that maybe I can sell something, or maybe I can connect with you. Okay. And NLP, they say, is okay.
NLP, okay.
Yeah. Well, NLP, if you see it from the Tantric perspective, is Tantra. You are synchronizing your energy with the person, you are empathizing with the person, and then you are becoming one with the person in order that the person believe what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah? And this NLP, and it's Tantra. You are doing rapport with him, and then you are connecting with the person, and then you are touching, and then you are delivering a conscious touch. And that's Tantra.
The time is flying here. Okay, but to end it, the total information I'm sitting with here now is that people get empowered by this. They loosen up their traumas and get them more and more powerful and can be themselves in everyday life. That's what Tantra can help you with.
Tantra can help you to meditate. Tantra can help you in order that you are more yourself, more grounded, that you are not greedy, that you are not jealous, that you are a nice, perfect person. Yes. It's like any other holistic practice, but a little bit faster.
Fantastic. This video will come out after the courses are finished this time. Uma Armingol, she's going to have some Tantra evenings here and Sacred Sexuality and things like that. Just look at our website, and I hope you come back to Norway soon.
I will be glad.
Then this video is more important to show who you are. The last part here is if you want to say something to the world, the last message. We usually end the videos with if you have a good message to the world.
Just to say that if you are going to go and do Tantra, just try to expand and liberate all the time, to be who you are, but don't be afraid about the word of Tantra, and just see with whom you are trying to be learning from. That's the most important part. In order that you know with whom you are going to be sharing an experience with. And believe me, Tantra is a really nice way of living. It's not a sect, it's not a religion, it's just a method to become a better person. That's it.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Namaste.